chillin', serial killing, pre-core villains on the mic, got you reeling. 5-star rated from the floor to the ceiling. If you catch a 1-star, no time for feelings. Got a demon DJ on the ones and twos, by the name Beelzebub, so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast them all over two, and prepare to hear the legend of the Straight Chillin' Crew.
What up, nerds, and welcome to another Cyberpunk episode of Straight Chilling, the weekly horror movie review show where you chill and we kill, slice, dice, and chop up yet another horror movie. My name is Bob. I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode 577, recorded on Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. Tonight, we're talking about the third You Pick the Flick of the year. The movie is 964 Pinocchio from 1991. It was chosen by the one, the only, Dongster Sam. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show tonight. First up, calling in from Washington, D.C., we got Shaboy Randieselbot.
What's going on, baby? You ready to talk about my cyborg sexcapades?
Dude, it's something I've been meaning to bring up on the show for years because the listeners have a right to know all about it.
Just, man, that's just a whole well worth plumbing, isn't it?
Isn't it? It plumbed me well, isn't it? Sure. Your boy Soju is out of office tonight. He's at some big fancy film festival abroad. He's doing the real work. But picking up his slack. Burn in hell. Picking up his slack, we got our good friend, Shaboy, the one, the only, Jim G. Baby. What's up, man?
Whoa. How's it going, fellas? Thanks for having me on. And in honor of Soju, I'll be maraschino stains this evening.
Okay, all right. There were many of those in this film.
Dude,
to be clear.
Those spit-covered cherries are disgusting, man.
We haven't got no spoilers, guys. Come on, we're not in spoiler territory yet.
Just
to drop that.
whetting the listeners' appetites, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wetting something.
They're a little too
like that.
sweet. You got to suck all the juice off of them before you give them to your boss to eat or whatever.
Yeah, exactly, Tom.
That's how you get the promotion. That's how you get it. Jim, thanks for sitting in with us, dude. We love having you on. It's been a while though, so why don't you just remind the listeners about your own show and your own podcasting adventures?
Yeah, I am the erstwhile host, one half of the Waxing the Porpoise podcast. We're on a limited, indefinite, maybe we'll return hiatus kind of thing. But I still pay for the server and all that to keep it up in hopes of coming back one day. 'Cause all the work to redo that seems like more than it's worth to pay for it.
You'll just never come back at that point.
Yeah, I'll just never come back, and you can still listen. So that's the long story short. We're out there if you want to give a listen. Both of these boys and Soju have been on to the show. Fan favorites for sure.
Ooh,
but
hell yeah.
Yeah, I've come into a new phase of just guesting, which takes all the hard work of editing and all the things that I hate out, and so I just kind of get to kick back and be a part of the peanut gallery, and
It's
that's
nice.
much funner.
It's very nice.
Much more fun to be the uncle than the parent, isn't it?
Exactly. That's like the perfect analogy. So, yeah.
Uncle Jim on the podcast today.
Uncle Jim's weird. He uses words like erstwhile.
He gives me beer though, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Babysitting us kids. We appreciate it as always, Jim.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Before we get into the main event, let's tackle some housekeeping real quick. Our May poll is currently posted over on our Patreon website. If you guys support us at the $5 level or above, you get the chance to vote on 3 movies that we might be reviewing in the month of May. The theme for May is Monumental Mommies. The movies you're voting on are The Good Son, The Taking of Deborah Logan, and Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Hoo-ho!
Ooh, Bob.
Ha! Burp! Ah!
Nailed it. It's like a terrible alarm going off.
It's like he's
Those numbers.
how the numbers looking?
Man, they keep changing. They just keep on changing. The Good Son is now in last place with 30% of the vote. Second place, taking of Deborah Logan, 33% of the vote. Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1, first place with 37% of the vote. So they're all like neck and neck now. They were last night all tied across the board. So
Damn.
Oh shit.
yeah,
The gamesmanship that's going on around this month is really something. I haven't seen anything like it in a good while.
I know.
The old spouse got involved there, Bob.
Yeah,
There's some lobbying happening.
my wife is ruining your plans there, Jim.
I was brought in by Nate Dogg, and I was like, I'll throw my hat in the ring I'll endorse your Good Son, and then the tide has turned.
Yeah.
You know what's in? Justin was saying that it's your wife versus your mom, and it's your mom twice because Miss Deb is
Deborah
in the mix
Logan.
as well.
Yeah.
I can't believe you would disrespect Miss Deb by not choosing Deborah Logan, Bob. Come on.
I know. What's wrong
Fix
with
their
me?
hearts or die.
Or die. Yeah. It's still anybody's game at the time of this episode dropping. You only got a couple days left to vote, so make sure you do if you haven't already. We'll see what Monumental Mommy we're talking about in May. And I'm going to go ahead and drop the June poll, because that'll be available on Friday, May 1st. The June poll, the theme for June is movies that Bob hates, and those three movies... I know, time to roast my ass. Those three movies are Knock Knock, Open Water, and Return to Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, man. Very specific batch.
Yeah.
You brought some of those suggestions, though, so I'm a little bit worried that we're playing into your hands a little bit.
Yeah, those are movies I certainly don't like. Dare I say, at least one of them is unwatchable, maybe even two.
I'm insane with anger.
Yeah, that's some pretty rough sledding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are you putting your money on there, Jim, to win the June poll, even though it hasn't dropped yet?
I don't know. I'd probably go Sleepaway Camp just because that feels like it might be right. But I could see Knock Knock maybe really getting after it. I don't think Open Water just seems like a completely blah pick. Like,
Yeah, that's a big nothing of a movie.
Yeah.
It really is. Well, get those votes in before the end of May.
Put 'em in.
You've got a lot of time to do it. Speaking of shit happening over on Patreon, we're dropping mini casts every other Friday per usual. We just dropped one last Friday. Your boy Soju was talking about season 1 of the German sci-fi TV show Dark, which I believe is on Netflix. So you can check that out now. Next up, dropping Friday, May 8th. You got your boy Bob just straight up bitching about Lee Cronin's The Mummy for a long time.
Not holding it back even now.
Nope. Just terrible movie. Didn't care for it at all. Just terrible.
Well,
Check it out.
we love to see it, folks.
Yeah. That's all that we have going on via Patreon. Do you guys have anything that you need to plug?
I actually do. So just yesterday, I believe, my little guest spot on a show called A Cut Above with our
Écoute
friends
the
over there.
Bouve.
Écoute the Bouve. They had me on for their 420 recording of Evil Bong from 2006.
Blaze 'em.
Or the review of that, rather. Yeah.
I listened to some of that, and you do not seem sober.
No? I wonder why.
got a little
I
stony
can't imagine.
baloney.
I was sober as a judge. I was sober as a judge, and that judge was not sober. It was a good recording session, though.
Nice.
Sober as
I don't know how you can tell when I'm stoned because I already ramble like a motherfucker. I don't know if I can do more.
I don't know how to explain it. It's maybe maybe you seem a little more relaxed while you're doing it. I don't know.
Relax. I'm just gonna yell at you for 20
It's fun.
minutes.
It's fun. Check out our Swedish podcasting cohorts, Écoute the Bouve.
I cut above.
Where you get your Swedish podcast. Cool. Anything you want to plug there, Jim, before we move on?
Yeah, actually, I was on a show called Dead Formats, and who I'll bring up later as we talked about off pod. But I did a little a review on a film based on a movie within a game within a movie called
blowing
Maximum.
my mind.
Maximum Surge. It was like a game that the company went bankrupt, so they this other company bought them out, and they took like the Frankenstein parts of the full. It's like a FMV game, like the full motion video.
Oh,
Like back in the 90s when that was all the rage with like Sega Saturn and Sega CD, and they turned it into a movie starring Yasmin Bleeth, and so we talked about that. So that's coming out on May 4th.
that's fascinating.
Yeah, it was a good time. My buddy Staring John and I joined Chris at Dead Formats. Check him out; he's super cool. So yeah, that's dropping May 4th.
That sounds at least a little more interesting than Evil Bong on its face.
Yeah.
Not the way we covered it.
It was a rough picture, but we had a good time talking about it. So that's one of the aforementioned guest spots that I'm enjoying in my podcast retirement.
Yeah, hell
Uncle
yeah.
Podcast has come to tell a tale.
That's how you know you've officially made it, when you don't have to do any of the work anymore.
We don't have to do it.
Show up.
Yeah, you can just Conan it.
Jim, I love how all your friends have wild nicknames like Staring John. Fucking great name.
Yeah, what would it be like for you to have a friend with a fucking nickname, right? Never, never experienced that, have you?
Brian Dieselbot.
The fellow with 19 nicknames over here doesn't even go by his birth name.
What the hell?
My boy Soju Stains. All right, I think our house is officially clean.
Sounds like it.
This house is clean.
All right, let's get into the main event. We're talking about 964 Pinocchio, and we're kicking it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
I don't have this box, but it is available. It actually just came out on 4K like a week ago or something.
Wowzers.
I know, kind of crazy timing. It's on Blu-ray. It's pretty easy to find on physical media if you want to do that. You can also watch it on Tubi, which is what I did. I'd recommend maybe trying before you buy it, because this is some wild shit right here.
Praise be Tubi.
I know, they got the weird shit. So 964 Pinocchio is from 1991, runtime of an hour and 37 minutes. This is written and directed by Shozin Fukui. Man, it just stars a whole bunch of wonderful people. I'm not going to just murder their names. There's no need for me to do it, honestly.
Just a lot of lovely people.
They're awesome, you know. Plot synopsis brought to you by IMDb is as follows. Pinocchio 964, a lobotomized cyborg sex slave, is abandoned by his owners due to his inability to maintain an erection while the
among us, right?
While the corporate entity plans to kill him. So, damn.
I guess that is what it's about.
I guess
really,
kind of.
Really nutshelling it there.
I know. Yeah. Have you boys seen this movie before, and would you recommend the folks at home check it out? Jim, why don't you kick us off?
I'll do a resounding no times 2. But I'll preface that. No, I've never heard of it. I would not recommend this for obvious reasons, as we'll get into, but it's wild, man. I think if you aren't at least somewhat familiar of this kind of film or genre or this director or whatever this is, then yeah, it's probably a hard pass for 99.99 square root of 964 people.
Hell yeah.
So I'll leave it at that.
What is the square root of 964? I
meant to look it up. Is there some esoteric, like,
I don't know,
meaning tied in with Pinocchio? I didn't check.
Probably not.
Probably not.
It's not a round number. I'll tell you that.
All right.
It's 31.0483493925. So,
Okay.
Thanks, Randy.
Fair enough.
Randy's
a
what
lot of
about you, Mr. Math Whiz?
Mr. Nobody has ever accused me of that before. So the answer is no. I have not seen this. Has anybody? And the second answer is like 99.999% no. But I consider it kind of a personal challenge to find somebody at some point in my life that I will be like, you know what you should watch. That just feels right to
I've got a
recommend
movie
to.
for you.
Because I feel like the moment I do that is going to be like moments before I'm like murdered horrifically or thrown down a well or something. You know, like I'm not in a good way at that time. And if I can keep an eye out for it, then maybe I can avoid some damage and not pitch the question after all.
Randy fell down a well again. He's always falling down.
Mysterious circumstances, Bob.
Fell down a well, eyes go across, kicked by a mule, they go back. You know how it goes.
I mean it well, 'cause of you I fell. You pushed me down.
That was Songwriter X. God
Man.
bless you guys.
This is a first time watch for me as well. I was completely unaware of it. And I think I misspoke whenever we were talking about this movie at the end of last week's show. I said the director was the same director that did Tetsuo the Iron Man. That is not correct. He was the assistant director on Tetsuo the Iron Man. So he did work on it, but he was not the primary director of that. But it definitely shares some DNA with that movie. That's the only thing I've ever seen that I can remotely relate this to. Like if you're trying to get an idea of what this is like, it's sort of like that. I didn't necessarily love this movie. I appreciate being exposed to it though. It was just like an interesting ride, but I don't know that I necessarily got a whole lot from it. But we'll discuss it and see what we can find out.
What do you mean you don't like it?
This is not a movie for most people, for sure. But if you like Tetsuo the Iron Man, maybe you'll also like this. So it sounds like mostly a pretty big no on the recommendation.
Pretty tightly sealed no for the most part.
Unless you're a freak. And then check it out on Tubi.
You want to get freaky naughty.
If you're that
you can
one
watch.
friend that Randy has and you know you're a freak, check it out.
You're a real Pinocchio head.
Sure, yeah. Well, we're going to be spoiling the shit out of 964 Pinocchio, and here comes your warning.
Spoiler warning.
Bob, you got the plot synopsis.
Dude, I feel bad for you, brother.
I
still
have it. It's relatively short, but it's fucking weird, man. We'll have to maybe talk through some of this stuff and like figure out what the fuck.
Did you source? Is this your summary of the movie, or is this
Yes. So
sourced elsewhere? Okay.
I this is just totally my words. I did read the Wikipedia plot synopsis to try and like get this fucker in focus after I wrote this, so like I kind of understand it better. Assuming that is correct, anyways, because this shit's kind of wide open. You can make of it what you will. But yeah, here we go. Here's the plot synopsis. It is Tokyo, the year 2064, and a sex cyborg called 964 Pinocchio has its memory wiped and it's thrown into the trash by its owners because it cannot maintain an erection. A homeless woman named Himiko is sitting on a sidewalk and Pinocchio lays in her lap. She takes him home with her and tries to teach him how to speak. The ladies who threw Pinocchio away inform the company they did so, and the owner is extremely upset. He sends He sends out a squad of his goons to go find 964 Pinocchio. Pinocchio eventually is able to say his name and learns to speak fully. He and Himiko have sex, which causes Pinocchio to expel a bunch of blood and pus. He freaks out and lays in a perfect circle of his own filth. Himiko also has some wild visions of nurses with needles. She freaks out and runs into the subway tunnels, puking an insane amount. She then rolls around in it. While she watches Pinocchio...
I shit my pants.
Yes. While she watches Pinocchio lay in his filth, she eats her own vomit and has visions of him as a giant fish skeleton or something like that. She then goes to the hardware store and buys a bunch of chains and clamps. She wakes Pinocchio up and takes him to the junkyard, saying she's going to make him feel all better. Then she chains him to a giant rock and says she tricked his silly little ass. She begins dragging him...
idiot.
What a fucking loser sex cyborg. She begins dragging him through the streets of Tokyo, forcing him to pull a giant rock behind him. One of the dudes looking for Pinocchio finds him and calls the boss. The boss says to kill the girl and capture Pinocchio. They try to gas Himiko, but she claws the dude's face off and gasses him with his own weapon. She's now even more pissed than she was before. Pinocchio escapes, now having regained his memory. He runs through the streets of Tokyo screaming and freaking everybody out. Himiko and the company men...
Something like that.
Something like that. Himiko and the company men searching for Pinocchio return to the company to form a brand new plan. Pinocchio shows up and rips the boss's guts clean out. And it's just cherries, by the way. Himiko tells Pinocchio to rip his face off, but he doesn't do it. She instead rips her own face off, revealing a huge boulder for a head. Pinocchio pulls her boulder head off and slams it down on his own. They are now fused together forever in love. Roll those credits.
Man,
I guess.
Yeoman's work, Bob.
Like, what the fuck? Okay, so the internet helped clarify to me, assuming this is correct, that Himiko was also a memory-wiped cyborg, and the moment they have sex, they both have a metamorphosis that allows them to fully regain the memories that they had lost, and that's why they go fucking ape shit.
Yeah, that is not made clear, amongst many other things.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
The fact that he's a sex robot, like they kind of even do explicitly say that, but they do it kind of once, and it's kind of low key. Like, if you're looking for dialogue, this is not the movie for you. You're not going to get an explanation of shit. You're going to be left to your own devices unless you count mindless wailing as dialogue.
Yeah, it's
that
tough.
Bump that you used is the perfect for, like, there's like a 19-minute stretch maybe towards the latter end, and that's the dialogue.
Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, towards the beginning too, like we first encounter Pinocchio, he's like fully memory wiped, right? And so like Himiko is just living on the streets. So like it's kind of this cutesy thing to start where like
cute.
Yeah, kind of a meet cute.
Just laying in the gutters of Tokyo.
She's like, she sees this dude walking around going and decides to take him home. I don't know, man. It's a move.
Yeah, well, she is living in like the offshoots of the subway, so she's homeless, and I guess you could read into that. I just thought that she was like a gutter punk kid or whatever. But it's really hard to discern who is a robot and who is not, because every single character in this movie acts completely fucking nuts. So you're like, I don't know if any of these people are real people. Maybe they're all robots. Like the boss's guts are just cherries, for God's sakes. The amount of puke Himiko throws, like, and what is that stuff? It looks like foam insulation or something. It is so much like vomit.
Oatmeal to me.
Oh yeah, oatmeal.
But like
mashed potatoes. And I was like,
maybe that.
Fuck, I'm nauseous now.
Where's the gravy?
That's I don't know. God. That just seemed kind of funny to me. Like I don't think like that stuff doesn't really gross me out because it's so obviously like just some sort of mush from the back of the pantry. Like
it started grossing me out when it like literally started to pile up. I was like, okay, this is.
Yeah,
oh really? No,
I usually have a pretty iron stomach, and I started going like a soju and blood thing. I was like, sitting here. I was like, I fucking want to go throw up right now.
Some people like apparently I did go like because I was so like confounded by this movie. I definitely went like I don't almost never do this, but I went online and just started seeing what people say about it. And a lot of people had a visceral reaction to this, and I just found it kind of like silly and maybe a little charming for its like silly gore and puke and all that shit. It just kind of made me laugh. Like not a lot, but it made me chuckle, I guess. And then it went too long and it wasn't funny anymore. And then I would chuckle a little bit more at the end because I'm like, wow, this is still fucking going, huh?
Dude, and then she starts eating the puke. I was like, oh man, this is a lot.
It was a lot. The maraschino cherries is just hilarious, though. I mean,
It's pretty funny.
on its surface.
Yeah.
But as far as like who's a robot and who's not, like this is the thing is like I was told by Wikipedia, same as you, I guess, that these were cyborgs, and I initially I read that like maybe the first half of the movie. I was like, I got to see what the fuck's going on here a little bit, and so I read some like the first paragraph or two on Wikipedia, and it said cyborg. I'm like, okay, but they're puking and pussing, and they're doing all this stuff, and they're coming out of psych. I'm confused. I'm wondering if their version of a cyborg in this movie is just a person who's had their memory wiped and who has like some sort of something installed that makes them behave and do certain things. Because he's a sex slave cyborg, and technically a cyborg is a cybernetic organism. So there's got to be some sort of cybernetics in there, but he's clearly organic to some degree.
Human. And they do even state that in the movie that it's like he's an organic organism, but it does feel like if you were going to make sex slaves and make them partially robots, like you make sure that dick work, you know?
Yeah.
That's like the only thing.
You'd make him Tetsuo the Iron Man, who is just a large phallus
big drill dick.
made of metal.
Yeah.
Put some kind of like slow drip like filter in of like Cialis or
Ooh, talk slower.
Yeah. Straight to the main vein. God damn.
But yeah, I don't know. Like it's tough to like. It's tough to make sense of this movie. What?
That bump just got me. Fuck.
Oh, well, good. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's a very confounding movie. The thing that bummed me out about this movie more than anything was like I was prepared. Like I kind of saw what was happening. Like the name of the movie is 964 Pinocchio. The 964, I have no fucking clue. Still don't have a clue where that comes from.
That is
but the Pinocchio thing,
the robot like unit number, the cyborg.
the serial.
Oh
Yeah.
well, no, I know that.
Okay.
I meant thematically or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But like Pinocchio, I was trying to decipher what this movie was,
Yeah.
and like seeing it as like a version of a Pinocchio story is an easy connection to make just because of the title. And there was seemingly some of that at the beginning, like he's a synthetic creature to some degree, and he's like trying to regain, or not trying. He's useless without his memories, and he finds a guiding figure in Hamiko to try and like bring him some sort of like semblance of normalcy, basically. But the thing is, like, the bummer of it is that she like gains her memories back. It turns out she had memory loss as well, which was not well deciphered. And then once she does, like you said, after their very tongue heavy sex scene, they
tongue.
yeah, it was literally like I don't know. It was bad. It was like the Scary Movie Cruel Intentions bit that they do, where it's just all tongue.
I found it very erotic, Randy.
I know you did, buddy. I know you did.
I didn't know you were such a prude, really.
Yeah, there was no lip lock action. There was no ceiling.
But, buddy.
Of that corridor.
It was just two seals bumping against each other. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, the bummer is that she then turns on him and like goes fully apeshit like villain, because I guess she remembered her history, but I don't understand what her history is. Therefore, I don't understand why her motivation changed so drastically. I just know she puked for a fucking long time, and then she was an evil motherfucker the rest of the movie.
That's what was so jarring and like incongruous for me was like because it actually at the beginning I felt bad. Like I had some like emotions watching this. I'll caveat it like I don't think just because I wouldn't recommend this. I don't think this isn't art or there's something to be derived from it. Especially at the beginning, like I felt bad for this guy. I was like, fuck, man. It's like, it's kind of pulling my heartstrings a little bit. And she's like, you know, trying to take him in and like teach him to speak. And she's like helping him. And then that turn, that pivot when she goes like wild, you know, buck wild, it kind of reminded me of that scene in Possession when
It
she's going
was
through that
directly
long hallway.
influenced by that, actually.
Oh, really?
really?
It
Okay.
was, yeah.
Yeah, but I just the turn, and then she's like being mean to him, and that part kind of like I was like, why? Like,
Yeah, like he devolves
Yeah.
again, and she like just becomes a whole different person, basically.
She's like cramming that garbage in his mouth. She's just abusing it. I wonder because in her like crazy flashback metamorphosis thing, the only real thing that I could discern was like nurses with needles and stuff, which you do see at the beginning of the movie at the like cyborg fuck doll factory or whatever.
yeah.
So like maybe she's remembering all of that fucked up shit that she experienced, and that just makes her go off the deep end. And he kind of has a sort of similar experience, I guess, but he doesn't go mad. I don't know. He like handles it in a different way. I don't know. Maybe just these like repressed memories coming back to them just makes them freak the fuck out in different ways.
Well, it's just so weird. I mean, clearly they do, but I don't understand like what would motivate her to do that, because he did nothing to her whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the people she teams up with, they do horrible things to her apparently in the past. Like
It seems to
if
be.
what you said is true, which seems to be true. And then also in the process of this movie, like she gets initially like betrayed by one of the henchmen, and so like she has no reason to want to team up with these people. Like,
Yeah.
why even bother except just to be cruel? I guess I don't know, but that it just seems so backwards because she is the only sweet character in the movie up until that point, and she is very sweet. Like she's if there's anybody in this movie that's like if we're going with the Pinocchio thing, she's like a Jiminy Cricket figure, and I can't imagine Jiminy Cricket like fucking over Pinocchio as evilly and cruelly as she
Oh, I
does. It's
can't.
very twisted. Well, buddy, your 4chan or your whatever slash fiction account does not need to be
Fucking
gone
4chan.
into here.
I never trusted that fucking grasshopper.
What's in it for him?
Yeah. I guess the cherry spit eating dude would be like the Geppetto stand-in. He's the one making all
Yeah.
these dolls. Yeah, I
But
don't
there's
know.
no like fox leading them astray or whatever. Like there's no Fantasy Island thing. They come from Fantasy Island and they can't do it anymore, so they have to come to normal Tokyo. Is it Tokyo, right?
Yeah, it's in
Is
Tokyo.
where it's at. But at future Tokyo. Although
Yeah.
it is clearly like guerrilla style shooting where those people have no fucking idea what's going on, and it is just like 1991 Tokyo is what
Yeah,
we're
these
seeing.
people are like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like,
Yeah.
I was just on my way to lunch, you know?
It's Japan, man. They're probably just like, oh, again?
Yeah. I was wondering at the end of that long drawn out scene, I was like, do they know what they're signing up for? Is this like a guerrilla thing, or was it like they were having some kind of parade or something coming through? And then there's this dude in like the clown suit dragging a iron piece of furniture. Yeah. I even remember too, like there's like a kid, like a 10-year-old, and it looks like he has ice cream, and he's like crossing the street a little bit, and he looks at the camera like,
Oh, yeah.
like a knowing look, like, oh, whoa, something cool's going on here. I was like, I wonder if they know what this is gonna be later.
They clearly don't. I don't think those people ever knew that they were ever put into a film. I think they were just knew there was somebody being filmed. That's my guess anyway.
Yeah, they
But
did.
yeah, Himiko, like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
They just a little bit of trivia. They didn't have any permits or anything, so they were doing like run and gun guerrilla style shooting, and they had. I think they used a wheelchair to put the camera in when they did a lot of the like zooming down the street shots.
That makes sense.
oh,
There's a
okay.
lot of like Raimi-ish like
Yeah.
point of view shots in this movie.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
those
towards
people
the
have
end,
no
there's-
idea.
There's one scene like when he's running, when he gets through the city and he's going through that field, and it does like a POV of the hands and then the back of his head. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. Like the cinematography of that, or how they achieved that looked pretty cool.
I genuinely think this movie looks really cool. Like, it is like very clearly a low budget art piece, and the thing is, like, it's a low budget art piece that's part of its aim. Clear to me, seems pretty clear to be as abrasive as possible to punish you for watching it a little bit or a lot. And I don't know. Like, I guess I'm a little sympathetic to that sort of point of view when you're talking about filmmaking, like on that level, like experimental film. I'm kind of down for that. And also, this is 1991. I talked about during our Overlook recap that I watched Larry Fessenden's Habit for the first time. And they also did like a lot of run and gun guerrilla style shooting in New York, but it's a lot more like it's a lot more domesticated than this, let's say. It's a lot less over the top. So
Real
this kind of like
square.
well, like, I don't know. He talked about like trying to film some shots in a hospital, and then eventually they were like thrown from the hospital, so they had to film from outside the window at the characters going into the hospital. And I thought that was
dope.
like, it actually made a really cool shot. It made it better because of that limitation. But like at the same time, this I guess kind of like functionally kind of blends that with almost like a jackass devil may care anarchic thing where it's like half of the fun is watching the crowd as they run through there screaming for hours. They must have done this for fucking hours.
Yeah, that guy must have been fucking tired.
For real, dude.
That's one thing about this, like, I'll agree with. Like, you can say whatever about, you know, like, the movie. It doesn't make sense. It's fucking crazy. But I really do appreciate, like, that punk rock aesthetic and, like, you know, making, like, I looked at, after all, I was like, okay, this isn't a movie. This isn't, like, a normal thing you're watching. This is just art. You know, this is like abstract art. And the people put a lot of effort into it. It was probably, this seems like a grueling, like, labor of love kind of thing.
Totally.
And doing things like that on a shoestring, I'm sure I really liked about this film, and I respect about it for sure.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with that.
Yeah, the thing I like the most about it is the way it looks. It's a really the like Japanese cyberpunk vibe is something that I thought I would probably like more, but in practice, like I really just kind of like the look of it. I was like trying to figure out a theme or like a point of this, and I don't know. Maybe it's really just here for vibes. I don't know if you're supposed to necessarily get anything out of it. I was like thinking about the Pinocchio aspect of it. I was like, why would they choose that name specifically? This is like a creature thrown out into the world. He's not lying. Like he doesn't have like his boner isn't growing. I was like, there's clearly a low hanging
That's
fruit
a big problem.
situation here. Yeah. So I was like, well, is he not lying enough? Is he not like twisted enough for this fucked up world?
Words.
I know. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything necessarily like there under the hood, but I was trying to make some sort of sense of it. I did also really like the like final battle sequence where like the dude gets his guts punched out and then the head gets ripped off. Some of those shots reminded me so much of like early Power Rangers, like dudes in foam suits fighting kind of in the field. You know, it had that vibe to it, which was kind of nostalgic and fun to see. But yeah, I don't know what the point is.
It's cool. I because you said it, I believe that this was directed by the same director of Tetsuo, and like it feels like it a lot of times because they do that sort of like fast motion, like hyper tight shot on faces as people are freaking out, like that sort of thing, like the fisheye lenses, like the crazy angles, the insane smash cuts to whatever. Like it makes it for a very interesting film to watch visually and like experientially. But yeah, they're like, as far as like trying to discern what this movie is trying to convey, what its intention is, the best I can say is that its intention is to make you as a viewer uncomfortable while trying to like basically pad out an entire film with footage that is largely disassociated and just hard to watch and hard to listen to too, by the way. The audio in this is like grating as fuck.
Yeah, there's a lot of screaming and squelching, and it's a lot.
Yeah. I was going to say mission accomplished.
And I don't know, like, I don't know that I hate that somebody would try to do that, but I think they definitely got their wish, and that I was very put off by a lot of the things in this movie, despite having like an intellectual like interest in what they were doing on a craft level. I guess if you want to look at it that way, then it's definitely got something going for it. I think it's just that, man, if this was a minute longer, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah. There was a very bizarre kind of side plot. Like one of the henchmen that was hunting Pinocchio is talking about how he and his wife were talking about adopting a kid, and she finally gave him the go-ahead and said, yeah, we can adopt. And he's so excited about it, but he refuses to wait. So he's like kidnaps a little girl and like
He just
runs
kidnaps
off
a
with her.
child.
And then that's the end of the plot. It's like nothing happens with that at all. It's just like a bizarre little side story that happens.
Yeah.
Like, I've been watching a lot of David Lynch stuff recently, and like there's a lot of critiques that can be made about like it being fairly nonsensical, being sequences that aren't as connected as they should be for a full, complete narrative. And there's a lot of that going on here. But the thing is, like, the vibes in those movies are in some way inviting. They're like titillating, or they're interesting, or they're intriguing in some way. And this one is instead like it's like being thumb screwed. Like it's like
The edges are a lot sharper.
yeah, absolutely. It's just putting you through the fucking meat grinder, quite literally.
It's that punk rock edge, dudes.
Yeah.
It is intentionally like offensive and loud and weird and like hypersexual and bloody and goopy.
It opens with some heavy duty sexual content.
Oh,
actually.
yeah. I just thought it was like a straight up brothel or something there. And then I was like, you know, you eventually realize like that's where they make the fuck bots. But then you cut to the owners of the fuck bot and they're just fucking. I was like, are they at a brothel? They're just living their life. There's like, what is because everybody is nuts. There's no like baseline.
Yeah.
Everybody's just full blown nuts in this. So it's hard to get your bearings.
Interesting. European style.
European style.
Yeah, it felt kind of cartoony, I guess, in that way. And I remember at the beginning too, I was like, "What's this guy's strat here? He's straight up humping torso at this angle." Like, I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah, the angles are a little
Called
off.
it luging.
Luging is how he's.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah,
you just
that was
gotta give
weird.
it a
It's
shot.
all part of the Winter Olympics package, right?
yep.
You know, you got the. No, we don't have to go there. Anyway,
Those hand gestures.
I was going to say
Randy.
though that Hamiko, like I talked earlier about how much of a bummer it was to see her like make a villain turn that really never comes back from. She never comes back from. But I will say when she is going ape shit, it's a kind of a completely different kind of ape shit. And I think I liked her performance as like a cackling villain. Like the performance was really fucking cool, actually, to me. Even though I didn't love it narratively.
Expressions were like so over the top, and it wasn't like this confusing like smash cut like wiggly face. Like she was like putting some wild emotions, like that big wide smile and the eyes. You know, like that must have been really taxing, just keeping up that part of the character when she makes that switch. You know.
Yeah. No, totally. It's very, man, it's hard to talk about this movie because it's really like about the experience, which is another thing that I tie it back to David Lynch for. It's like about how you take it in more than it is about whatever the director is actively thinking about when making it, which
Totally.
puts a lot of people off and completely understandable. And this movie, again, like goes the extra mile to put you off. So that's why, like, when I say like I don't recommend this movie, I don't know that that's entirely true. Like, I think for somebody that is looking for a wholly unique experience, I guess I would make that like an artistic one, a flawed one, you know, like somebody that's up for like a real challenge of a movie, I might put on their radar.
Yeah. If you want to get like deeper into obscure Japanese cinema, I think you should totally watch this. But yeah, it's just not going to be for most people's taste necessarily.
Yeah.
There's
and enjoyment is hard to come by.
Yeah, it definitely has redeeming quality. It's not like some pile of shit. I'm not at all upset that I watched it or that we're covering it or anything like that. It's just not necessarily my specific cup of tea, but like I'm glad I watched it, you know?
I don't know, like, your mileage may vary is the only thing I can say.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like this is a movie that actively puts people off, so it's hard to gauge its intentionality versus its effectiveness and say whether or not it's worth watching. You know, putting those two, they're oil and water in this particular case.
We should review Possession after watching this. It makes me want to get into that.
Sure.
We've never talked
Did
about
we
that.
not? I can't remember.
No, we never did.
Possession's
Okay.
dope. I liked it a lot. I covered that on Porpoise. We actually had friend of the show, Slack member Miles on. We had a
Hell
really
yeah.
good discussion about it. It was super cool. That was one that I thought that was fucking weird. And then
Oh,
I
it
watched
is.
this.
Yeah, I know. Like the bar got heightened for sure. I can actually
Yeah, I
like
guess
looking
in
now-
comparison, anything compared to
And
this isn't going to.
It's not just the freak out scene though. There is some like crazy camera angles in that movie, some weird editing choices, some
Yeah.
characterizations that turn on a dime. Like I
Sam
can
Neill's
see a lot of
character
that in this.
Is fucking
Actually,
weird in that too.
It's very
Like it
fucking
reminded me
weird.
of some like when he gets like when he's rocking in the chair and he's
Mm-hmm.
saying stuff. It called back to that aspect of the film too. Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
a lot going on, but this takes it to like a different level.
but you
Although-
can like, but I can identify the theme of that movie. You know what I
Right.
mean? There you go.
Yeah, that's where it almost seems like maybe this is me projecting, but maybe the director wanted to like give it that rough exterior, and if you can withstand this and like and still let yourself in or let the film into you and kind of let it wash
And
over
out
you,
and in and
maybe
out.
yeah, exactly. And keep it up. You know, maybe he thinks that was like, I don't know, that's worth the ride, or like maybe you'll find something in it that you enjoy if you can like, oh, okay, 15 minutes in, fuck this, I'm not watching it. Like if you stick with it, maybe there's something to be had.
Yeah.
The only the one compass rose I had in all of this was like Pinocchio himself. Like I just felt bad for him the whole time. It's like this poor
Yeah.
fucking bastard. He just like he even says too, there's some like lucid moments where he's like crying about like his memory and like I don't know who I am, and like you know, he's in pain, and like this poor bastard all the way from the beginning to the end, he's just ran through the ringer. And then so that was the only like thematic or like coherent part that I latched onto was like his journey, and then everything around him, it was like this tornado of wild shit that I was trying
No,
to
totally.
stick with.
He's like,
But one-
he's a very sympathetic character for sure. Like,
Yeah. And I like that characterization of him, and because sometimes like you see like this Frankenstein monster kind of thing, they do something like heinous or like, but he doesn't do anything. He doesn't like lash out and attack people. He's not like a dangerous animal that was let out from the zoo or something, you know, like he's just like trying to find his way basically.
yeah.
I mean, he steals some
Yeah.
groceries, so that's unforgivable.
Oh, well.
You know, you gotta
deadly. Yeah.
get his
Yeah.
ass.
What a monster.
I
What
know.
a fucking
I
monster.
know.
Yeah.
Let's. Any other major points you guys want to hit on before we?
I think I'm basically wrapping it up already myself.
Okay.
Like, I don't know that I have any.
I got
major points.
one last thing it made me think of, like with the memory specifically. Like I'm kind of a weekend warrior with anime, and some of the ones that revolve around like cybernetics and like human robot. A big theme in those is like memory and like what distinguishes, robots and androids from humans. And one of the themes I've seen is like they posit is like the only difference is memory, like the ability for humans to like retain, and like I guess that kind of starts tying into like the soul. Like what's the difference if like a robot, if it's a clone that you don't know and it's wrapped in skin, what would make it different if it had all the same like mental faculties? So I thought that was kind of an interesting
That is something.
call out, like just the idea of memory, and his memory's been wiped and he's like frantically he's trying to get it back, I don't really know where I was going with that, but I've seen that theme a lot in like
theme,
Japanese
yeah.
film and anime and like cyberpunk, like Ghost in the Shell namely. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is a theme that you could point to as being in this movie. Maybe I don't know that the things around it, like I don't know that the filmmaking supports that as a theme.
Right.
But if I'm gun to my head, if I had to identify one, that's something that I could point to and say, like, okay, yeah, like having your memory makes you more of a complete human being. It says something about humanity that like retaining your memories, but at the same time, does not having your memories, like whether you can recover or not, does that make you not human anymore? What does it mean?
Yes, Randy.
What does memory do for you? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was really latching on to like the Pinocchio aspect, and like he's trying to get his memory back to be a real boy again. You know, like that was the my my mind was the only thing I could
Just
latch
trying
onto.
to put any two pieces together.
Put those dots together.
What is happening here? Cool.
Oh man.
So Justin, he obviously wasn't able to make it for the show tonight, but he did send over a recording with his own thoughts and a rating for this movie. So, Rand Diesel, do you have that pulled up?
Oh, I have that. Are we going with hated it top to bottom, or are we going with this is pretty good actually? What do we think?
I feel like he's going to be kind of mid on it, probably.
Yeah, I was gonna land. Yeah,
Okay.
So neither
Sorry.
of those
Fence.
options.
He's a man of extremes, I think.
this
but I
is
don't know which extreme.
This is around 9 minutes long, so strap in your strap-ons and let's hear what he's got to say.
I had a nickel. Okay, here we go.
Yo, what up, everyone? It's your boy Soju the Mang, calling in to give my thoughts and opinions on 964 Pinocchio. I'm actually really bummed and sorry that I couldn't be on this episode. I actually found this movie pretty interesting, and I kind of wish I could talk with everyone about it. One thing that was like super interesting to me is that it kind of resonated with something that just seems to be popping up a lot in my life these days. And that as I was watching this, I had this thought of like, this is truly 90s, or this feels like authentic 90s to me, as opposed to, I don't know, maybe like trying to pretend to be 90s. It's hard. Like 90s trends are kind of like popping up a lot, these days, and have been for a little while now. And it's kind of like the Stranger Things of it all. They try to design things to look and feel like the 90s. But like when I watched this, I was like, yeah, this is some 90s shit right here. In that it was like super random and weird, and it kind of reminded me of, I think it was like a David Lynch directed commercial for like a PlayStation or something that's like super random. It reminded me of like some David Lynch stuff and like Trent Reznor shit, Nine Inch Nails. I've brought it up before. There's this Bjork music video, which is like really obscure from the early 90s and stuff. It just like reminds me of weird shit like that. And so it felt very authentic, and it was cool to dive into a film that kind of captured that 90s feel for me. Very industrial before the kind of commercialization of it all. I felt like the late 90s had more of that, but at that point it was like Red Hot Chili Peppers and like the David Fincher of it all and stuff like that. But I really liked seeing this and feeling this vibe that felt really authentic to me. This movie's super weird, but I did really respect and like how it totally seemed like they were just filming in the streets, and that was fine. And even, the woman kind of like running through supermarkets or just random stores and freaking the fuck out, and it just seemed like no one gave a fuck that they were just run and gun filming, acting like lunatics in a public place. Like the scene when he's just running at the end with this metal thing attached to him, and it's so clear that they're running through these busy streets, and I was looking at people in the background. Some are laughing, some are confused, there's children. It seemed like they were just filming in random subways, and I love that. I thought it was really cool, actually, and it was kind of inspiring. Not like I want to make a film or have any ambitions to make a film, but it was just interesting to see people just do it. And a lot of the makeup and things that they use here aren't so complicated. It seems just like a labor of love a little bit, but they kind of totally pull it off. I liked the beginning a lot. I guess I would say I liked the first half a lot more than I liked the second half, only just because it does get to a point where it feels like they're really stretching it thin. Like, just scenes go on and on and on and on of the same shit that's going on. And the plot is really thin. The story is thin. But the way that they set it up, I thought there was going to be a little bit more to it. And so I was really intrigued. And I really did like the setup. I really liked the relationship, or how they found each other, Pinocchio and the woman, Himiko, I think her name was. And it was kind of sweet, and I liked the design. I really liked the kind of like poncho outfit Pinocchio's got on with the like red leggings or whatever. I just thought that was a cool style, and she just grabs him in the street and's like taking care of him. And then this, wherever she lives, this just back room industrial place that God, that was so 90s to me, just walking down this fucking hallway forever. And it was just a cool room, a cool setup. I liked it. Yeah, just really gritty, lo-fi recording. I think that was really cool. I think that aesthetic and appeal is really appealing to people these days. I see at the markets, like, people are trying to buy old camcorders and shit that's just like not perfect, that's really gritty. And it's kind of fun to see this stuff and revisit it at its core. In 91, I don't know what the fuck this is about. The best thing that I could kind of piece together was maybe there's no fucking point, but I was thinking maybe it's about people who are kind of damaged or come with baggage, a lot of baggage in their lives, and ultimately find each other, and they connect in that sense that they're kind of both damaged, and how that can ultimately, and how at first that can kind of like relieve the pain or the kind of damage that you have of like finding another kind of kindred spirit, but then it erupting in a very kind of toxic way in that relationship if both of these people have not dealt with like their past shit, and how that can be very toxic and destructive to each other, but then ultimately how they just kind of end up being together anyways, like they just meld together. That was like the best kind of thing I could think of. I don't know. Her, like, after they had sex and then her like puking up all that shit, and I don't know, it just seemed like that awakened some negative aspect in both of them. He starts transforming, she starts abusing him, she locks him up, and like I couldn't just help think of like this kind of possession thing of like, once you, at first, the relationship is really sweet and you're looking out for each other, and then it can become toxic, and like this past baggage can kind of like erupt and turn into a thing like possessiveness and harmful tendencies to each other. I don't know. That was the best thing that I could kind of come up with. I might be reaching there though. Might be some bullshit. Yeah, I think I'm going to give this movie a 2.5 because I liked I liked how weird it was. I liked the aesthetic of it. I liked the audacity of just filming in these public places. I liked the kind of, some of the gore that they did when he just like tears that dude apart, or kind of the blood coming out of his mouth. I loved how kind of chintzy it was, just her like puking shit up and then like eating it. I didn't like the scenes though where it felt too chintzy, was almost like where they actually go to the food trash area and she's making him eat like the food trash. That was just like a little too chintzy for me. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2.5, but I might give that half star for the Japanese yabos that are popping up at the beginning of this. Not a whole lot, there's just a little bit, and I felt like that was a really weird thing for them to start up with, like this being a sex slave robot thing. I don't know, I don't really know what's going on with that. Really weird. And like the puking up of the cherries or whatever and eating it, didn't really know what was going on with all that stuff, but it seems to be like some corporate commentary. Maybe it's just random bullshit. Who knows? But thanks for the pick. I actually found it really intriguing. Really glad I got a chance to watch it. Really bummed that I couldn't sit in this week, but I hope you guys had a good discussion, and I'll see you next week. Keep chilling, bitches.
Wow.
Nice.
That was a tour de force.
Yeah. 90s is full.
I have
It's
to
so
recommend. I have to recommend that Juice watch Habit immediately because it is like the calmer brother of this in terms of being 90s coded.
It's funny that he's wistful for a time that he never knew.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Born in 2005.
Well, there's a lot of that.
What a
I
poser.
guess.
Yeah. Thanks for
Doing
calling in,
something, man.
Juice. Always good
Yeah.
to hear from your boy Juice.
When
Fellas,
you like it.
The David Fincher of it all really got me.
the David Fincher of it all.
I don't see any David Fincher in this myself, but
Also, I'm curious what my interpretation of the word chintzy is a little bit different than his.
same. Yeah, I think he was using it like you would use cheesy, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I've probably made that. I don't know. It's close to that, but I don't think it's quite that. I don't know.
He had a couple buzzwords too, maybe that could be alongside kids on bikes, run and gun. He brought that up. He hit on labor of love. I don't know. I feel pretty similar to actually how I think he distilled it a much better way. And like him keying in on the like the toxic lovers and like the baggage and the stuff that comes with it too. I think that was a pretty poignant. That's like something you can kind of draw on.
I suppose so, because it does end with the two of them coming together by way of like self-destruction. Like,
Literally
I guess you could point to that.
slamming their heads together to become
And then just
one
being like,
being.
"Wow, I feel great." End of movie.
Yeah. It is weird that she's like just trying to murder his ass and tells him to rip his face off. And then they
it's
just
also
like
weird that she's
become
got
one.
a moon face under there. I don't like everything's
I
weird.
don't know,
Everything
man.
is
Yeah.
everything.
It's I don't know, maybe in order to exist in an evil, fucked up, twisted world, you gotta be evil, twisted, and fucked up. So he like takes her psychotic brain and puts it in his or something. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Shit.
It offsets and negates.
Yeah, now they're just normal rock-faced lovers puking in a subway.
Fused into one.
I see it every day on the way to work.
A putty from
I always
Power
A
Rangers.
fucking putty.
Yeah, I always
Yes.
see
exactly.
a putty mixed with a moon-faced fucking.
Crazy
Was it?
noises they would make.
Oh man, I can't remember the name of the moon-faced guy from TV Glow, but it's like
Oh,
that
yeah.
mixed with a putty.
Mr. Moon?
Mr.
Something? I don't remember. Anyway, that shit freaks me out.
Melancholy
Mr. Melancholy, yeah.
and the
Jim,
Infinite Sadness.
why don't you go ahead and rate this bad boy out of 5? How are you feeling on the 964 Pinocchio?
Yeah, this is gonna be a difficult one to rate, and I think the rating. I'm just gonna go with a 2, just because, like, similar to you, Bob, this isn't really my cup of tea, but I'm glad to have experienced it, and I think that the effort and just everything that was put into the production is admirable, and I respect that. And I mean, I'm a mark for like cyberpunk dystopian kind of vibe and a backdrop, so I definitely appreciated that. I like Japanese cinema. This is definitely for sure has hit on the most obscure end of that I've seen by far, but yeah, overall, just like the gratuitous puking, and like there were some really long scenes that were pretty taxing for me mentally, like when he's running through the people all the way back to that evil lair headquarters. And then as much as I like the Rikki-O of it all at the end when he does that gut punch and all the cherries come out, which was hilarious, they really stayed on that arm in the gut for like a long ass time. So just some of those scenes were kind of grating for me, just like how long they stuck on things. But yeah, without belaboring the point any further, yeah, I'd go with a solid 2 stars. Maybe
Right on.
check it out if you like this kind of shit.
Rand Diesel, how about you?
Oh, you know, I don't like it a 3 points worth, but I do kind of like this movie. I respect it on a craft level. I respect it on an anarchic film, experimental film level. I don't love it for its narrative. I do find it hard to discern meaning from it beyond just like the experience of being like experience of laughing a little bit, and mostly just like wondering what the fuck, why is this scene lasting so long, why is the soundtrack sound like a bunch of screws in a washing machine, like why is this happening. I do think that it's intentionally grating on the senses, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's an interesting thing. I don't think that it services a whole lot though, and that's what makes it a drag to me, is that like I feel like there is some unique, like almost irreplaceable sort of like footage in this film, and very like stylish, very anarchic, like I said before, like very punk rock sort of thing going on here. I just wish it was in service to something a little bit more discernible to me, because right now it seems more like just an experience. It's like a roller coaster with no theming. It is what it is. And that's what it is. Isn't bad. It's just it's not satisfying, as satisfying at the end. I don't feel like I got an hour and a half's worth of my time back in experience. Do you know what I mean? Especially because so many of those experiences were drawn out and intentionally, to my mind, putting me through the ringer. If you're going to do that to me as a viewer, I would like to know why. So I would like to know what it services. So and in trying to figure out how to rate this, I did go back and look at what I gave Tetsuo, the Iron Man, which is the closest analog I can possibly think of that I've actually seen to this. And I do feel like this is that plus some David Lynch plus some Jackass, and then minus a lot of story. So I think that's where we land on that. So I think it's less than that film, and I gave that film a 3. So to me, and I don't think I dislike this film, so I think a 2.5 is actually probably the smart medium choice for me. I think 2.5 makes the most sense. There's a lot here that I think is worthwhile on its own merits in a vacuum, but I just don't think it comes together well at all. Like, I don't think it ultimately does anything beyond what you could find in any one clip in a vacuum. So for me, for that reason, it's a 2.5.
Right on.
Bob, how about you?
Hey there. Yeah, we're pretty much all on the same page with this one. I do think there's like some merit to just expressing the sort of like energy encompassed in this film, just like the raw energy, just like blasting you in the face. It reminds me of like
say that slower.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I don't know that it has a direct point, but it definitely makes you feel something when you experience it. It reminds me of like that band Sigur Rós a little bit, that Icelandic band, where like they put out a couple records that are like the lyrics, truly is a made up language that means nothing, but like it doesn't matter. You still experience the melody of it. And this kind of, I don't know, reminds me of that in a way where it's like not necessarily about the story. It's about the emotion and the feeling and like just the way it hits you in a certain.
You're a big Sugar Ross fan. I
love the band Sugar Ray with their made up language.
Every morning.
Yeah. See? It doesn't mean anything. It's not a real language.
Gibberish. Gobbledygook.
Truly gibberish. Yeah, I like the punk rock kind of vibes and the DIY nature of this, and some of the scenes are very jarring and effective, but it is it's a bit taxing by the end of it. It's not a long run time, but you do feel the need to stretch some of these scenes out. The vomit scene actually did kind of disgust me. At first, I was like, no big deal, but it just goes on for so long. And when she starts rolling around in it and eating it, I was like, kind of out on this one, man.
It just made me giggle. I don't know. I'm crazy.
Yeah. It was pretty gnarly, I thought. But yeah, it's an interesting experience, but I don't love it as a film necessarily. It's one that I would only recommend to all you freaks out there listening. I 2.5.
Can you dig it?
Hell yeah, dude. Speaking of the king freak, Vincent Price himself. 2.5 for me, right down the middle. I appreciate the spirit of the film, but maybe not the overall viewing experience of the film. So that's going to put our aggregate at a 2.4 out of 5 for 964 Pinocchio. Whenever you guys do land a You Pick the Flick, we offer you the choice if you'd like to send in an email or a voicemail with your own thoughts and ratings. And your boy Dongster Sam did send over an email. Ran Diesel Bot. You got that pulled up, dog?
Excuse me. Let me get my oration voice on. Here we go. What up, straight chilling crew? It's Yadong. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed my You Pick 964 Pinocchio. I heard a lot of buzz on social media about this film, so I watched it for myself. Oh boy, this movie made me physically ill. The shocking imagery and wild cinematography really makes this film a sensory overload. It gets gross and uncomfortable very fast and stays that way the entire film. The look of Pinocchio is so iconic, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that scary mofo. While the film is comparable to Tetsuo, 964 Pinocchio has much less of a plot and is more of a crazy, uncontrolled nightmare. There's a sequel called Rubber's Lover that looks pretty wild and much more sci-fi. Anyway, I give this film a solid 2.5 of 5. I hope Randy throws in some hilarious Pinocchio bumps. Did not.
Damn it.
Way to fail our listeners, Randy.
Got a day job, motherfucker.
Quit.
You're right. I should have quit.
I'm a real boy.
I didn't know Randy sold out. Thank you,
I hope
Jim.
Randy
Thank you.
throws in some hilarious Pinocchio bump. I'm sorry, there's one more line. Pinocchio bumps. Team Randy forever. Fuck Soju. Y'all keep chilling. Wow.
Team
Pretty harsh at the
Randy.
end.
Damn.
Pretty harsh at the end there. Dong.
Dong really
Those battle
fucked
lines
us.
have been drawn.
Team Rand
I
Diesel
may have
Bot.
embellished a little bit.
Not much, but just a little.
Look, I got to give the people what they want. They want conflict.
They want Pinocchio bumps, and you failed.
Yeah, that's true. They did. At least one person did want something, and I did not deliver. Sorry, Dom.
Thanks for picking this wild ass flick for us to talk about, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Would have never come across my eyes probably otherwise. It was hard to find this movie. I didn't know that they had just released it, but from what I had read, it was like out of print for decades, or like decades, I don't know, for a long time, and
For
barely in print
centuries.
even when it was, wasn't it? Yeah. It's been buried beneath the Temple of Time for 1,000 years.
Yeah, I was, as much as I love Tubi and sing its praises, I was on a time crunch, so I didn't want to sit through 36 minutes of ads. So
Fucking commercials. God,
fucking
dude.
hate it.
They
So-
fuck you with those.
they do.
I think this is on
And they're-
YouTube too, though. I found out afterwards.
Is it?
Yeah, shout out to Jesus Fever Incense channel. Show them some love for uploading this to the YouTubes with subtitle. Pretty fucking rad.
That sounds like a
Can I buy
90s ass
cheap
handle.
Jesus-shaped incense holders?
Yeah, made me think of like Mother Love Bone and like Temple of the Dog.
Yeah,
Like
yes, precisely.
that dude's dripping 90s.
I'm going hungry.
So do it.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right, that was it.
Yeah, all right. That's our review of 964 Pinocchio. Let's go ahead and jump over into the Rotten Tomatoes segment, see what the critics and users have to say.
Certified fresh to death.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a segment in which I have these gentlemen guess within the best of their abilities what the aggregate positive score is for 964 Pinocchio on Rotten Tomatoes. Or at least that would be true if there were enough ratings to do so.
Oh, Randy.
I do.
You
I
sneaky
know.
devil.
There's only a handful of critic reviews, so there's no aggregate there. There is there's 500 plus user ratings, which does lead out to a percentage, does leave it to an aggregate. So we'll do that, and then after that, I figure I'll get you guys to guess out of 10 stars what the IMDb rating is for this film, because that also exists. How about that?
Deal.
Word.
All right, so we're gonna start with our esteemed guest, G Baby. And we're going to go to the popcorn meter, or the users, since that's the only ranking that exists on Rotten Tomatoes. And out of 100%, what percentage would you say people gave this film in terms of positive reviews? It's 500 plus ratings. Did I say that? I think I did.
Yeah. Okay. For the users, yeah, that seems pretty high for the users. And I'm going to split in my mind. I'm going to say like 2/3 of those people probably dug it and were drawn to leave a rating, and then the others kind of stumbled their way into it. So I'm going to put it in, I'm going to go 69.
69, dudes!
You thought you got me. You didn't get me. Come on.
Keeping you on your toes, baby.
You are. All right, Bob, you got 69 off the board. Where are you going with it?
I'm glad that number was taken, because we got a voicemail about that a little bit later. Stay tuned.
Ooh.
I think that's still a little generous there, G-Baby. I think it's going to be a little lower than that. This movie is fucking weird, man. Like, super weird. So I'll take... I'll just go right down the center with a 50, please. 50.
Right down
Just
the
a
plate.
50. No 55, just 50. So we got 50 from Bob. We got heartily laughable 69 from G-Baby.
Nice.
That's the stuff. Well, one of you is significantly closer than the other, with just 3 percentage points between you and correctness, the sweet feeling of being right.
Damn.
And that is going to be Bob. We got 53% on the board.
Such a sweet feeling. Yes.
Oh, embrace it.
Hell skeet.
Embrace it.
That's right. What a perfect movie for a hell skeet. You know?
I mean, you could hell skeet in the first 5 minutes of this movie if you really put your mind to it.
Yeah?
Unless you're gooning through the whole thing.
If you're really into mashed potato puke, you've got this movie. You will be gooning your asshole off.
Puke. I don't know. Getting past the bowl of spitty cherries is going to be tough.
Dude, that's
nothing
it. I wonder
sexier
what
than
they
maraschino.
used for that. It seemed like, you know, when you set up Jell-O before you put the dye in, that like what was that clear shit? It was like real, like it was like viscous,
gelatin, yeah.
but it had like body. Like when that dude walks in on them
Well,
right in
that's
that
her
room, and it's
spit.
like in suspended animation.
It looked like a hardened glue gun strands or
Yes,
some
that
shit.
too.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I like that. It made me laugh. Anyway, so congrats
it
to
a
Bob
lot.
on that. What's that?
I
I like it a lot.
I like that a lot.
Straight Goon and Randy.
All right, let's move on to the IMDb rating of this film. This is going to be, of course, stars out of 10, so a slightly different metric here. I'm going to start in reverse order with Bob. Out of 10 stars, what do you think the average score is out of 10 stars?
I still don't think it's going to be very high. IMDb is... If you get like an 8 on IMDb, it's like a perfect movie. It's kind of
Really, that's
it's like
that's often true.
so I'm gonna go fairly low on this. I'll take like a 4.1 maybe.
4.1. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of that in terms of percentages at first. I was like, damn. So,
Out of 10. Out of 10.
4.1 out of 10, not percentages. Got it. All right, G Baby, where are you coming in?
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
I have that exact thought before recording every one of these episodes.
I think I'm going to go with in keeping with the theme, I think I'm going to go with a 6.9 for this hog.
6.9. All right. I don't have 6.9 dudes on hand.
6.9, dudes.
I got you.
You got me on that one. No question there. All right. I do believe. Let's see. Do some quick math. God knows I'm a math boy. Boy, I'm gonna need more than a second. Bob, can you stall for me?
Randy's all math and goonin. That's 50% of each.
That's my wheelhouse.
That's how he stalls. He just starts doing long division in his head.
That really makes the Stecker pick out. Start throwing some standard
so
deviation in there.
God damn. Oh, yeah. Check out the big brain on Randy.
Okay, we got there. One of you is just a little bit closer with 1.3 star difference, if I'm doing my math right, and I'm sure that somebody will correct me if I'm not. The correct answer, 5.6 out of 10. Yeah, you do the math now. You guys do the math now. How about that?
1.3.
Yeah.
1.3.
That's
the different. That's a gym win.
That's a gym.
Bringing it home.
G-Baby's walking out. We're splitting the pot tonight. 6.9 dudes. You have earned each one of them.
We went Dutch on ratings.
We did. You almost
Chalk it
got
up as a win.
You almost got yourself 7 dudes, but one of them got it's like missing a foot or something.
One of them's an amputee, so
Missing an appendage. That's fine.
Hopefully, it's not.
If he.
That might make things more interesting.
Hey,
my boy likes a eunuch. What can we say?
Finally find that mythical fourth hole.
Oh no! Oh,
what the? Off to find.
I'm not aware of these myths.
Clitoris.
I'm not sure I want to know the lore behind fourth hole. Is that something like fourth meal? Because I can get behind that part.
Yeah, that's what it stems literally from the Taco Bell fourth meal. It's like an inside joke with my buddies. It's like
it's a different kind of waste your body excretes after eating a lot of Taco Bell.
We've posited, armpit, back of the knee.
Both famously very involved with the Taco Bell process.
It can only be invoked in the Taco Bell walk-in refrigerator.
They can only make that Taco Bell beef by sliding it through the back of some old lady's knees.
That is so fucking gross.
I mean, Jesus Christ, Bob.
Have you heard of our podcast?
All right,
but it can only be a Taco Bell cantina too. That's the caveat.
So you can have a Modelo while you're
get loosened up a little
all
bit.
right.
That granny knee grease just goes right through.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Then grease me up, woman.
All right.
Oh god.
Let's move on. I guess I could read a user review. I guess we'll do that. I'll read one star user review off of RottenTomatoes.com. A disgusting, noisy cyberpunk classic. Man, it really just softened the blow right at the end there.
Classic.
Still a 1 star.
Disgusting pile of shit. Classic.
It's a classic piece of shit. Yeah. All right. Let's leave it at that.
All right.
I don't have anything to add.
Perfect.
Bob?
Let's jump into some trivia.
It's totally time for trivia.
All right.
One thing, I was looking at the Letterboxd as well, and it has a ridiculous amount of ratings. It has over 30,000 ratings.
Damn.
Holy shit.
On Letterboxd.
Letterboxd is where the freaks go, man. That's where the freaks are from. That's where you recommend this movie.
They go deep. But yeah, it's got a 3.4 stars out of 5 average out of 30,000 ratings, which is pretty nuts, but
Yeah, that's solid.
yeah.
It's a little on the high side, but
I would say Letterboxd is flawed.
Randy, you slut.
It's flawed, I tell you.
It's flawed.
You slut. There's just a couple bits of trivia here I'll get to real quick. The director, Fukui, wrote this script while he was homeless, apparently.
Oh, damn.
Could influence the movie,
Yeah, totally.
That's kind of sick.
Yeah. He cited, already mentioned Possession was an influence on this, but he also cited Blade Runner and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre as big influences.
I guess I
Yeah,
could see that. Sure.
I can see that
Yeah.
kind of in the abstract a little bit, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Blade Runner's a harder one to pull.
Yeah. Yeah.
For that.
This is the last bit I have here, and then I think Jim actually has some interesting tidbits for us as well. Because they filmed near a neighborhood at night, and so much of the film consists of aggressive screaming, many people from the houses complained, but the crew came to each house with a box of sweets and was granted permission to continue filming. Isn't that nice?
What do you mean you don't like it?
I wonder if there were cherries in that box.
I think it was mashed taters.
You're just mashing it now.
You keying yourself up for the bump slam dunk. Just mashing it.
That was the self-assist.
I'm a Harlem Globetrotter at this fucking bump game, dude. I can set myself up for the layup.
Just throwing it off the backboard and bringing it down.
There it is. Breaking that backboard. Let's go.
Blowing out that backboard.
All right. Yeah, G baby.
Jim, what you got?
That's what those are the best back shots there are, man. All right. All right, G baby. Follow that now.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a tough act to follow, fella. Let's see. So one thing I had meant to get it in before this record, but I didn't. There's like a 30-minute YouTube video with, I'm gonna probably butcher his name, Shozin Fukui. There's like a 30-minute interview of him talking about like this film specifically, like what his like goal was, like how it came to be. And at the very beginning, he said he came up, I didn't watch the whole thing, I just watched the first 5 minutes, but he did say he came up with like a philosophical question like 20 years prior to making this that always stuck with him. And I'm just reading it aloud. I haven't really had a chance to wrap my head around it, but he said,
not co-signed.
Yeah. What would happen if the dominant power, which I guess there's a translation there, so it's actually what would happen if the idea of dominance, which comes when mental anguish exceeds physical tolerance, is expanded. So I'll just leave that. We can discuss or just leave it out there, but I thought that was interesting and open-ended, and I wish I had more time to chew on that. What did he say? He said, what is the... what would happen if dominance, which comes when mental anguish exceeds physical tolerance, is expanded? Yeah, I didn't really know what to make of that, but I just thought I'd throw it out there. If anyone wants to check out the actual director's thoughts on the film, it's out there on YouTube.
That's some wild shit to drop on somebody.
Trying to confuse me with your liberal biblicisms.
And then to follow that, I did have, so quick shout out and cross promotional plug to my buddy Chris, who hosts a show called Dead Formats, which specializes in dead formats. Shocker. He loves this kind of shit specifically, and I told him I had short notice I was coming on. Do you have anything cool about this that you know, or this director that you could share? And he did. Fuck ton of shit. So I'll try to run through it here. So keep in mind, this is he prefaced this as the brief version. So there's a saga involving Shozin Fukui's one of his early short films called Metal Days. This movie was released in 1986 on VHS. Only 100 copies were made, and they were sold exclusively in one store in Koenji, Tokyo. There are only 3 copies that have been confirmed to exist today. One is owned by actor Yoda Kawase, who appears in Fukui's film Rubber's Lover, which followed this 964 Pinocchio, and it took like over 5 years to make, which I thought that was another rabbit hole I wanted to get into. But the other 2 are owned by, the other 2 copies of this Metal Days, of the 3 in existence, are owned by a British filmmaker who used to run a semi-popular channel on YouTube many years ago. He tracked down a copy of the film and eventually ended up moving to Japan, becoming friends with Fukui. He has refused to ever share the film with anyone because of his personal relationship with Fukui. The reasoning that he has maintained over the years for not sharing the film is that the version released on VHS, and that is not Fukui's preferred version of the film. According to this filmmaker, Fukui had slowly been working on editing the film down from 60 minutes to around 40. Recently, the shorter version of the film was screened in Japan on July 12th, 2025, so there was hope that the film would eventually be released. Unfortunately, Fukui, as we alluded to earlier, I believe he passed away on like April 2nd of this year, I think.
Damn. R.I.P.
So he passed away before he could continue his work on refinishing or finally finishing Metal Days in a releasable form. In addition, information has come to light that Fukui is not editing the film down to a shorter runtime because he was unhappy with the VHS version that was previously explained, but because the original elements had been damaged to the point that they could not be salvaged. So as it stands now, Fukui has passed away. The original elements are damaged beyond repair. The original elements, I just read that line. And the people, the people could possibly share the film. The people who could possibly share the film refuse to do so. These are the uphill battles that amateur archivists are constantly facing. And this is all very deep lore that probably nobody cares about, but it's what got me, Chris, involved with this bizarre corner of the internet nearly a decade ago at this point. So there's a
fascinating
big old download of food for thought. If you want to go down that rabbit hole, the saga of Fukui's earlier film Metal Days. And I implore you, if that's kind of your thing, check out Dead Formats. It's an awesome show. He goes deep on the lore. If you guys ever do a Dead Format centric run of shows, I highly recommend Chris join you. He's awesome.
Yeah,
Lost Media is a constant
do that
thing
for sure.
for me. Like, yeah, we talked about on our Overlook episode. I talked about A Page of Madness, which was lost for many years. It's 100th anniversary this year. I also have a handful of hard to find or recently found things that I went online and bought horrible bootleg copies of and shit like that. So I am interested in that stuff. It sounds like a cool podcast, and that was definitely a lot of cool information.
Yeah, I was like, dude.
When you think about it, probably 90% of any films ever made are lost media. Probably more.
Yeah,
certainly from the olden days.
I didn't realize that he just passed away on April 2nd, man. That's wild. That
is horrifying.
And this, this movie was chosen for us to review before that happened, too. So,
really?
Pour one out for Shozin Fukui. That's wild. He was 65.
Well, maybe somebody can finish his work and we can see that Metal Days or something. In any case, I'm going to check out Rubber's Liver now, actually.
That's a whole other thing I barely scratched the surface on. I guess that was a super tense, there was distribution things happening, and then the actual the creation, the making of the film was super taxing on all the actors and the crew and everything, and it took a literal 5 years to make. It wasn't like they had it in the can and they were waiting for distribution for 2 years, how some films sit. It was it literally took that long to finish the film.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. All right. Well,
we'll talk about that one next. Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
Maybe get a little palate cleanser in between there.
Yeah. Fucking A.
Yeah, if you watch both those movies back to back, you wake up with no eyeballs, I think.
Yeah, and a metal head.
Hey-o.
Yeah.
Moon
head.
Jim, let's talk about our Cooter of the week.
Straight chillin'. Cooter of the week.
Jim, what is a Cooter and why do we hunt them?
Boys, let's go hunting. What do you say?
Let's go.
Cooter is a character type and a straight chillin' excluse.
That's right.
So what is a Cooter? We have 5 points of Cooterdom. And they are smug arrogance, manipulation, sexual deviancy, overall look and attire, and overall patheticness. Boys, who's seeming most cootish to you on
Who's
this
seeming?
one?
Whose semen is this? All over my semen rag. here.
Boys, who's seeming?
I think just about everybody in this film has a claim to being a Cooter on some level. Close to it anyway. Maybe not Pinocchio. I think Pinocchio is a victim of circumstance.
Yeah, he is, and I think so is Himiko, actually, if they're both,
I don't know.
cyborgs.
By the end, I'm not sure about that. They are. I don't know.
That's fair. I think
I don't know.
the first one that comes to my mind is the dude, I forget his name, the owner of the company.
Geppetto? Whatever his
the
name
Geppetto stand-in, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying. That was another thing. Names I was trying to pin down. I couldn't tell if he was Nagashima or there was someone named Nagashima. I believe. I thought it was him, but then at the end,
Narashima. Narashima, I think is
Narashima. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm totally saying that right too. By the way.
Yeah. So let's start with him because I think he's a solid pin. I think we can pin him down easily.
Definitely manipulation out the wazoo.
Oh yeah. Sexual deviance, my God, yes. Has anybody ever eaten a cherry with such sexual deviance at the helm?
Such vigor.
Also, I'm not like I said earlier. I'm not sure they're not taking people with. I'm not sure that he's not taking people that exist in the world that have mental problems or have memory problems or whatever, and turning them into sex slaves via roboticization. I'm not sure.
He threatens the couple that threw Pinocchio away. He says, because they come to get a new robot and he gives him one. He's like, if you throw this one away, I'm going to erase you. It's like,
that's exactly right. Like, I mean, so he can at least erase your memory. I think that he's erasing people's memories and turning them into sex slaves. That's, I think,
maybe
the implication here. Very sexually deviant there. He's a fucking trafficker. Looking attire, I mean, everybody in this film, for the most part, but him and his rubber gloves and his maraschino cherry ass, like, my dude's got a look.
Cherry ass!
Smug arrogance. He dies saying, why should I have to die? I'm a genius. Or whatever.
He calls everybody silly asses, too.
Yeah.
I think he's across the board solid.
Yeah.
Too,
and patheticness, like, all of that screams pathetic to me.
Yeah.
Dude dies bleeding cherries. Fuck you.
Yeah. I think he's the most clear cut to me. I was going to make an argument as I was watching it at the beginning, the like dominatrix, the really like intense eyeshadowed lady, I think her name was Iko. I thought for sure she doesn't really come back at all from what I could tell in the film, but I thought they were setting her up as like a side boss or like another villain component. So I thought she might make a run, but yeah, I think Narashima is
King Cooter of the week, I think.
Narashima and Hamiko, maybe, but I don't know. It's harder to pin down.
Cooter light?
Deal with people that have I don't know. I don't know what to attribute to her naturally. You know what I mean? Like who she is throughout the entire film is nebulous.
It's hard to tell like who these people really are and like what their desires really are because it's just insane nonsense all the time.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she could have been like just a victim of circumstance in some way too, because like when she got triggered by like after they bone or they kiss, and then it does all the flashbacks to her getting shot up, and like she was, maybe that just triggered something and then put her in that psychosis, that weird state that she was in the rest of the film. But
it's just tough to say. And like by the end, she rips her own face off, turns into a moon man, and then has her head ripped off. So I don't know what the fuck to make of that. I think it's pretty clear that like the Dr. Geppetto or whatever his name is, he is consistently the same character, and that character is a king goddamn Cooter. I say we lock him up.
Yeah. Solid case. Lock him up, throw away the key. We got him. All right, let's do a quick little what we've been watching because, we got to show up for the librarian on this one. Let's do it.
There's going to be hell to pay.
Hey, gang, what you been watching?
Jim, what you been watching, man?
I've been a bad horror fan. I haven't watched like anything new, and I've been really drawn into lately kind of like that 90s, in keeping with the theme, the 90s vibe, 90s nostalgia with all the weirdness going on in the world right now. I've got locked into Sliders from 95, 96, Jerry O'Connell, Clevant Derricks. That's just a good show. Yeah, I've been on a Sliders kick. One newer thing I have watched is Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple TV. I'm not the world's biggest John Hamm fan, and I never went through the Mad Men ringer, but he's pretty good in it. It's kind of an interesting show. And then other than that, I just started the new, I think it's BBC. It's British. Has started a new miniseries on the Count of Monte Cristo, which is like one of my favorite books. favorite. Like, I like all the movies, even the one with Guy Pearce and Jim Caviezel. Dare I speak his name? JC. I love that shit. I'm a mark for a revenge tale, and to me, that's like God tier, like revenge plotting and just like everything with it. So, but it's awesome. So check that shit out.
Sick.
That's it for me.
But I guess BBC is just doing the classic literature thing right now because they also had that Lord of the Flies miniseries, which I started but haven't finished because it's coming to Netflix in America like in 3 days or something.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
They do good shit. But yeah, that Count of Monte Cristo is a banger.
I haven't seen any of that shit, Jim. Thanks for the Rex.
Yeah.
Randy,
All right.
what you been watching?
So finished up The Pit season 2. Very good season of television. I enjoy that show a lot. The experience of watching that show is very chaotic, but man, it hits. It's still hitting pretty good. I feel like it might start to get repetitive as we move into season 3, but I don't know. They kept it fresh for season 2. I'm curious to see where they can go with it from here. Been rewatching Twin Peaks, as I mentioned before. I'm about 5 episodes out from done, which I plan to shotgun this week so that I can join our friend Nicole on Light and Shadow to talk about that. And in support of that as well, I read The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer, which is a tie-in book from the 90s, which I had read before and have had in my library ever since, but I hadn't picked up since the first time I watched the series years and years ago now. So, yeah, good but flawed book. Very, very, very fucked up. If you've seen Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, you know the Laura Palmer story. You know how dark some of that shit gets. And this does not pull very many punches. It is a little inconsistent with the show and with other parts of it, but I think that's just kind of the experience of Twin Peaks. Canonical events can change, so things just happen. But yeah, an interesting read. Also written by David Lynch's daughter, whose name I am blanking on, I'm sorry to say. But yeah. And then finished up my first ever rewatch of Midnight Mass. Finally got that done. Watched with some friends who were watching it for the first time. That show fucking rules. There are very few characters in fiction that I am so primed to hate as much as Bev Keane. Fuck Bev Keane.
Yeah, she sucks.
Fuck her. And that actress is an incredible pull for that character. She is great in that role.
Yeah.
I want to see more of her. She actually showed up in The Pit, that actress, for like as a patient or the mother of a patient. So I like seeing her and stuff. Let's see. Rewatched for the first time in years. Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls.
Oh boy.
Don't know why I put this on. Total impulse. Fucking love that movie, despite all of its many, many flaws. I must have rented that from fucking Blockbuster 50 times as a kid. So I knew all the beats, and it came back to me like riding a bike. It was great.
That's awesome.
Other than that, I've been watching Taskmaster Series 21. It's got Kumail Nanjiani on it. So like, if there's somebody I actually recognize on that show, it makes it more likely I'm going to watch it. And another American citizen on there, that helps. So it's a fun show, man. It's very silly, very light, mostly wholesome, mostly. And then last but not least, Cheek Face has been coming out with fucking their singles for their new record, and every single one of their new music videos I've been watching like crazy and listening to like crazy. I fucking love this band, Cheek Face. They're incredible. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Bob, where are you at with things?
Oh, hey. I've been checking out that Into the Darkness from 95 to 99. Speaking of 90s shit, seems to be the theme of the night.
Dude, we're hitting in it.
Yeah, I know. That is on Shudder currently, and it's like 6.5 hours long. It is so
Goddamn.
fucking long. I just been throwing it on in the background just when I need something kind of mindless to play. Almost through it. Some pretty interesting stuff that I'd never even heard of before on there. Also been watching the final season of The Boys. There's like 3 episodes out now, I believe, which is so far hitting pretty good. I know some people are like annoyed that it's become political. It seems very streamlined to me. I don't know. The plot makes
people complain about that in
sense.
season 4 as well, and I just To me, I was like the whole thing is political. Like even when they were talking about like Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff, it was still like talking about the politics of the studio and how they operate within the economy of America. So,
yeah, I mean,
don't know.
Homelander is an evil Captain America. Like it's
yeah.
There's always been at least like a boilerplate politics in it, anyways. I'm still digging the show. I guess some people have kind of turned on it, but I think it's pretty solid. Still enjoying that so far. I did end up finishing that Netflix show called Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen. I mentioned watching the first half of it like a few episodes ago. It was a little while ago. It ended really solid, actually. Definitely recommend checking it out. It's like 6 episodes, I think, on Netflix, and it was produced by the Duffer Brothers. It is about this young couple that are getting married, and the dude is from a very wealthy family, and his fiance, his to-be wife, has never met any of his family before, but they go out to the family cabin in the middle of the woods, middle of nowhere, to get married, and she meets all of his family, and they're all fucking weird, and a bunch of crazy, bizarre shit happens. And it's very, like, it does have certain episodes that are just, like, true blue horror, but a lot of it is kind of a mystery, thriller kind of stuff. It's kind of a mixed bag. There's some comedy in it too. Like some of it is actually kind of funny. I really enjoyed it though. I recommend checking that out if you want something a little bit different. Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen. Good shit.
That's one I caught too, and I didn't mention it, but I was kind of torn on it, and I think I looked at it a little bit favorably after I had time to sit with it, but there were some horrific, traumatic, relationship parts too that were that really hit home, like when they're fighting and dragging out. And then, there's some episodes where freaky as hell. And at first I thought, oh man, aren't they just going to do a Ready or Not thing? Is this where we're going? And I was pleasantly surprised with how it took shape and it was its own thing.
It did sound like that to me. I was like, I'll bet that's what's that's immediately the assumption I made.
Yeah.
There's some shared DNA, thankfully. But it's definitely kind of its own sort of animal, I think.
Mm.
Also started watching the new season of Beef.
Beef,
which is like an A24 Netflix production, and it's like fucking cringe as hell. It's but in a way that I can mostly enjoy, I guess.
It's a whole new. Is it like an anthology series where this is a whole different character arc?
Is.
Okay,
yeah,
because it's got entirely different leads in this one,
right? Yeah. The first season was solid. I enjoyed that quite a bit, and it's sort of like a Road Rage extrapolated. This second season is about these two people that own this crazy high end golf resort. And they're rich, but their relationship is very on the rocks, and they have this huge fucking fight at their house one night, and they have one of their employees stop by to drop off some paperwork or something, and they see them fighting, and they get physical, and they film it on their phone, and it's basically, it starts off with a bit of blackmail, but I've only seen the first episode, so don't really know how it ends up, but just some cringe ass shit in that if you want.
Don't touch that dial. You need to hear this.
You want some cringe in your life. Last but not least, Joe Bob's Witchy Wingding happened this past Friday. We were going to have a watch party, but I ended up having to just work a shitload this weekend, so I was unable to do that. But I did watch the Joe Bob segments later on, and it was enjoyable, as it always is. The first movie they ended up showing was that fucking Clive Barker movie about the penis monster that I'm totally blanking on the name. Rawhead Rex.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that.
And then the second one was Oddity, which is just a banger from last year if you haven't seen Oddity.
I actually did watch that on the flight I had to go on. I downloaded the Joe Bob coverage of Oddity just out of curiosity. Yeah. Did not talk as much about Damian McCarthy as I was hoping, but he did reveal some things I didn't know. So
yeah, talk about our boy. That's all I've been watching. We do have a couple voicemails to get to, so let's jump over to our Hotline Screams.
Hotline Scream.
you guys would like to call in and leave a voicemail to be featured on next week's show, hit us up at 904-638-3231. First up, we're going to hear from Shaboy Midnight Mike. Let's hear what he's got to say.
What's up, boys? Midnight Mike. Haven't called in a while. Been meaning to call about a bunch of the latest prompts, but I haven't. So I'm calling today to talk about none of those. I've been watching some porn films, and I watched this movie called Meat Kills, which is a Dutch film, and I was like, that was really fun. So I said, let me throw myself into some of these French films, because the only one I've ever seen was High Tension, which I loved when I first saw it, still do. So I just threw myself right into it, and I watched The 08 Martyrs, and goddamn, that is a movie. I liked it. I don't think I'm going to have to watch it again for a very long time, because there's just some images that just will not leave your head. But then I went and I watched this movie Revenge, another French film that was kind of fun. And then I watched Raw, and goddamn, out of all the French films, that might be my favorite right now. But I'm calling because it just brings it full circle, because when you guys were talking about that film in your episode on it, you spoke about how people passed out in the movie theater. You know, like, that's some bullshit. And then Randy had mentioned Gerald's Game, and is what you've been watching. So if you recall, my first call was about how I was watching Gerald's Game with my now wife, then new girlfriend, and I passed out and shit my pants. And I know you're probably laughing right now, Bob, but it is a true story. Play the tape. So I passed out in the theater twice in my lifetime. So the most recent would be 2013 Evil Dead. Me and my brother went to see it. Got to that scene like 20 minutes in where the girl's cutting her face off with the mirror glass, and I got lightheaded, and I said, let me just go out in the hallway and get some air. I didn't make it past the fucking end of the row of seats, and I woke up with an EMT in my face, my chin blown open. I had to get stitches, but everyone got free tickets in the movie theater, so that was cool. And my brother, he got mine and his, and then he said, fuck you, Mike, I'm not taking you. And he took our friend Ian. So now I stay home, and I just sit on my couch and watch it in the comfort of my home if I know it's going to be gory. But yeah. All right, I'm running out of time. So until next time, guys. See ya.
Man. Fascinating shit.
I'll shut the fuck up. I'm always saying, like, nobody's passing out in these fucking movies. This is all bullshit. But I'll eat some crow.
Yeah.
Clearly people are passing out. Damn.
Dude, and I love that Mike's like just all in on that. He's like, I passed out a couple times in movies. It's cool. I'll just keep watching them. I'll just watch them at home now. Like, hell yeah, man. He's watching fucking Raw and Martyrs now.
Yeah.
Man.
Some hardcore shit. Hey, if you want to pass out again, throw on Inside. It's another French extremity that's watch it around Christmas time. Fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe a little
Don't
palate
shit your
cleanser
pants.
for that not quite French extremity, but a French film nonetheless by our boy Michael Haneke. He did a movie in 2005 called Cachet with Juliette Binoche. That's a fucking banger. It's horrific on a different level, more than like visceral or like gore and stuff, but it's a very affecting film that would slot in there nicely. For as wild as it is, it would be a palate cleanser in comparison. But
nice. I got to check
if
that.
you really
out.
want to pass out, you should watch 964 Pinocchio.
You really want to shit your pants,
dude. If you pass out and shit your pants, and then the woman that's there to witness it marries you, that's a ride or die. You got
keeper.
That is.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a fancy flapjack.
That's a keeper. Yeah. New girlfriend too.
My new man. She's stuck. She's seen you at your worst for sure.
So I was on a date last night with this guy, and he passed out and shit his pants.
I think
I'm going to see him next week.
I think I'm going to make him dinner later. I don't know.
Yeah. Something real bland.
Stick to the brat diet for that fellow for a little bit.
That's right.
God. Classic shit. Classic. Thanks for calling Midnight Mike. Always good to hear
Thanks,
from
Mike.
you. Last but not least, we're going to hear from a first-time Canadian caller. Let's hear what she's got to say.
Ooh.
Hi, guys. I'm calling from Canada. First time. That message is great. I love Sexy Dracula. I've been listening to you for a number of years now, since I think 2021. And this is kind of embarrassing to say, but about 2 years into listening to you guys, I finally had to look up where the 69 dudes bump came from, because I kind of realized that what I thought it was didn't make sense, because I thought it was actually 2 tracks of Justin's voice saying 69 dudes. And, yeah, I realized how stupid that is. So I figured out it must be from a movie because, right? Anyways, I just wanted to mention this Japanese horror movie that I've never heard anyone else talk about. It's from 2004. It's called Maribito, I believe. I can't remember what the English translation for that is, but I remember it being like weird psychological horror stuff. This man is obsessed with like knowing the origins of fear or something. He kidnaps a girl, keeps her in his apartment. All this weird shit is happening, and there's a big twist at the end. So I'm not sure if you guys have heard of that before. But yeah, I would recommend checking it out. Other than that, not too many obscure Japanese movies that I can really think of that you guys haven't listed already. I haven't seen Tetsuo, but probably will in the future. Other than that, I was actually the person who commented on Spotify, huge arse, so heyo. Anyways, I'm feeling awkward over this. I hope you guys have a great evening watching the movie, all that stuff. Thank you for doing what you do. All right, bye.
Thanks for the huge
Wait, how do you know our friend Huge Ars?
That's our boy, Huge
That's our boy. I looked it up, and Maribito is from Takashi Shimizu, who also directed Ju-On. So,
nice.
2004 film, Maribito, Marebito, and it says, AI Overview says, a freelance videographer becomes obsessed with documenting fear, and that's all I'm going to read for now, because fuck AI. Anyway.
Yeah, this sounds sick. I'm looking at the IMDb, and it's the freelance cameraman investigating an urban legend involving mysterious spirits haunting the subways of Tokyo. That sounds...
Is it found footage? Because it sounds like a found footage setup.
It's I don't know. I can't really tell from what I'm seeing right here, but I know that'll be a immediate selling point for you, Rand Diesel.
It will. You know, I'm a found footage nut.
You're a bit of a footage nut.
Yeah, that sounds dope. I love.
Oh yeah, and like
that.
By the way, don't feel stupid for thinking that the 69 dudes bump came from Justin, because Justin is every bit as much of a valley girl when it comes to using the word like as Bill and Ted are. So
that is actually, like, if you've never seen that movie, that's a pretty good guess. They're like, oh, that's probably just Justin saying 69.
I remember when I first started listening to the show, I was like, oh, okay, this is the token stoner dude of the group. He definitely sounds like he's from like Los Angeles and
that's
like just
great.
Like surfer bruh, wild stallions.
Wild stallions. He's a most excellent dude from Florida.
He is the one of the three of us that has surfed, if that does anything.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's true. There you go.
Yeah.
The man smells of coconuts. Like, what can I say?
That's sex wax, brah.
Mm-hmm.
And the puka shells.
Dude, yeah.
Oh, the puka shell. That's a legit thing that this young man wore for many years.
He was all puka shells and flippy floppies. Mm-hmm. Thanks for calling in.
And Hurley shirts. Yeah.
Thanks for calling in all the way from Canada. Again, if you guys are listening and would like to call in for next week, hit us up at 904-638-3231. Prompts for next week. You guys have any gems you want to throw out there?
Ooh, strike up some ideas by telling me what we're reviewing next week. Is it the poll next week?
No, we're doing Hokum.
Hokum.
Speaking of our boy,
Hokum.
Damian McCarthy, director of Oddity. His new movie Hokum is in theaters this Friday, May 1st. We're talking about that next week. Check it out.
Oh man, that's a solid movie worth watching. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. It's recommendable. But yeah, I guess I don't know. We prompted with Japanese films for this Japanese film. We can prompt what Irish horror films you're interested in. Joe Bob actually listed quite a few, some of which I did not know were Irish productions. Did he say The Mortuary Assistant was one? Maybe I might be confusing myself with that one, but there were several that he listed.
I don't know. I haven't seen that yet, actually. That's on Shudder now.
Yeah, I know. I want to check that one out. I've heard good things, but I'm not sure. Oh, The Hallow. I've seen that. Grabbers. A Dark Song, of course. Like, there's some good shit.
Yeah, I'm a total blank on Irish horror. Other than I think there's a Shudder exclusive they did a couple years ago. I think Heidelberg's a fan of it too. It's I think it's like called like The Boys of County Derry or something of County Derry. I think it's like a vampire. Pretty sure it's vampire werewolf kind of thing. That was pretty recent. It was not bad at all.
Well, all right. Yeah, I haven't heard of that one. Furuaka was one that we saw, or that I saw at Overlook last year in 2025.
I still haven't seen that.
And that's in like whatever the Irish language is called.
Gaelic.
I don't think I think it goes by like I don't know. I heard it. I don't know. There's some sensitivities around that, I think, but I don't know what it is. Don't take my word for it.
Well, call in with
all
your,
you need is death as well.
Oh yeah. I have seen that. Call in with your Irish horror movie recommendations, because clearly we're struggling to come up with a very long list. Hit us up.
Yeah, but
Let us
there
know.
are some.
Yeah, they exist. And watch Hokum for next week. Get ready for next week's show. Spoiler alert. It's worth watching. Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the new one with Adam Scott?
It is.
In that?
It sure is.
Yeah, that one looked good.
Your boy.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Scott. Jim, thanks for sitting in with us again, dude. Love having you on, man. Really do appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys giving me a call. I told Randy, and it was totally lost on him before we fired up. For Happy Gilmore, anything. It was my pleasure. Anytime, boys. Thank you for having me on. This was definitely a hoot. And thanks, Dongster Sam, for expanding our horizons.
Yeah.
For real, yeah. Yeah, I like having my horizons expanded. I like a long,
blow
nice
out
long
my
horizon.
horizons.
Ooh, blow up my horizons, big dog. All right.
Hell yeah. Check out Waxing the Porpoise everywhere you get your podcasts. Still out there.
It's still there.
Yeah. Slam it into your ear holes. Blow out your ear holes with Waxing the Porpoise. Check out Hogan.
And
Get
your
ready for
horizons.
next week. And until then, as always, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
I'll spit!